again, I'll pitch it back to Ben Swann. Ben Swann broke it down in his in one of his last deals that said breaking down the paradigm of I can't remember what it is, but he basically said 40% of the population is independent, and you got two conglomerations fighting. Well, if less people vote and less credibility comes, then the government's just a facade. And the thing of it is you and Ben Michalski and Roy Baker, the three guys that I know offhand that are leading that charge, and I don't completely disagree with it. The problem is you still got people voting. Will the government be illegitimized when only 11% of the population elects the president, or does it have to go to zero? So I love what you and Roy Baker and Ben Michalski are doing. I'm just trying to figure out what percentage it has to hit before the credibility's gone.
Well, for me, I believe really what they say on the polls. I mean, they all have a Diebold machine.
That's not a poll. That's the actual percentage of the population that voted. It's not a poll.
Well, real quickly, I want to respond to that real quick.
All right, go ahead.
Well, for me, I can also say, as when I covered in the first episode, is I don't always take. I mean, I might vote in this election. I haven't really. I'm going to vote for David Pennington for right now. He says something horrible that I agree with. I believe that you can vote in self-defense, and I think, of course, if you don't vote, I think obviously you have to do something else instead of that time. It's not really virtue in just saying you're not going to do something. I mean, if you're not going to do anything else, and I make it a point for all those that are actually that do berate those that still want to participate in the political process, that are just not doing anything but just yelling at and just arguing with me and just insulting me through their keyboards. I make it a point to just call them out as.
Can I add a little something?
I know. I'm not talking to him. I'm not talking about him.
I think you should call in. I think Ben Michalski should call into the radio show. Ben, if you're out there, call in, man.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about him. I'm not talking about Ben Michalski.
I'm talking about America with my words. I like Ben. He's a good guy.
Right. But I'm just saying there are those that just do not go, that just say that there are those not calling Ben, but they have nothing to offer, no other solution, and I ask them, and they don't really give anything else, but they just continue just insulting people on their on their keyboards through Facebook or whatever. But
Ben Michalski does a whole lot more than Facebook. I see Ben Michalski in the trenches. I see him at the state capitol. I see him in front of the Fed. He's the tip of the spear on that, in my opinion. I see him at all the rallies doing
you
what he does.
Got me in here?
You're on, Chris. I can hear you.
Hey, you got a candidate in here, man. I'm a candidate.
Oh, Chris Hill, I forgot. Craig, what's your state district? What district are you in?
10th district.
Yeah, Chris.
House Representative.
I apologize, Chris. I apologize. I deal with you mostly on the CSF level. Chris Hill is doing exactly what the caller asked about earlier. He's jumped on board, and he's running in District 10 for state representative to work at the state level. I mean, I know that the caller was talking about running in a lower level.
For Congress.
No, he's running for House District 10 in the state of Georgia.
No, United States House Representatives.
Oh.
So I just want to say two things. Touch on, Jason, you hit the nail on the head. When it comes to elections, you have the left and right paradigm. And trying to run as an independent is, I found, damn near impossible due to the current election laws in the state of Georgia. And it's probably going to take another 4 to 8 years before the Libertarian Party becomes recognized and someone could run under their banner. But for me, I wanted to run as an independent because I'm sick of the left, I'm sick of the right. I think you should get rid of both of them and everybody come together and uphold the Constitution and get rid of these little fiefdoms. And to do that, you got to get 20,000 freaking notarized signatures, and in order to run as an independent, and then drop $5,200. So being a poor guy, man, I'm going to have to file the pauper affidavit, waive that $5,200, and being the person that's not going to have 20,000 signatures in the next couple of weeks, I believe it is, I'm going to have to get in on the Republican ticket, and I got I got to put together a strategy to let them know. I'm not sneaking in, but I'm going to let them know I'm taking point. You need to fall in line, get behind me. I'm taking lead of the Republican Party because I don't like what I'm seeing. But the election laws, they need to be changed. The mindset, it needs to be changed. But we could talk about that. Or let's just say this: the reason why I'm doing it is because I want to pump the message out there that the people won't change. You cannot curtail our freedom, restrict our right to bear arms, can't spy on us. You can't tell us we can't protest. All of these liberties that are being restricted, that's what I want to do. I want to go to Washington. I want to tell them all that they've outlived their usefulness, and they need to. And I'll sign an affidavit saying I'll take a 25% cut in pay every year that a budget isn't passed, and every year that we do not decrease the deficit or the national debt. I'm sick and tired of them getting rich, and our kids and our grandkids are going to be paying for it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
If you do me a favor, actually, I would love to give you a whole 2 hours on. Not, of course, we can still hang out right here, but I'd love to go in more of your platform. If you want to email me at ericbell88@gmail.com, and we might be able to work something out.
That'd be great, man. I'd appreciate it.
Because of course, like this, I haven't made my decision whether I was going to vote for Grayson, if I'm going to vote for Grayson or not. But I mean, I was very, but I know I would live with my conscience if I just at least would not give him a platform.
Hey, Eric, I'll tell you this because since you and I both worked together on the Ron Paul campaign, I like Derek Grayson as much or more than I like Ron Paul. So I know you're that not voting guy, and I'm with it. But
like I said, I sometimes do vote. I'm actually I might actually run for. I mean, I might actually been even mulling over even running for office. Not this election cycle, obviously. But
what do you suppose Roy Baker and Ben Mahalski think about you running for office? Just wondering.
Well, we were talking. I had many debates. I had quite a few debates with Ben Mahalski over. He ended up deleting me off Facebook for a while. He says that he doesn't really consider me a legitimate anarchist, but I don't really care about it. I mean, I don't have any hard feelings. It is what it is.
Sure.
I mean, I think. Like this has, like we're Ron Paul campaign, and I think even Derek Grayson, I'm sure even, Chris Hill would they might at least serve as if nothing else, they'll serve as a gateway drug to to message of liberty, what it actually is. Whether
all drugs are bad. Come on now.
Well, not all. Well, we have heard some.
I'm just messing with you, Eric. I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, and. I'm thinking that would probably be in not this year, obviously not this year. I missed the qualifying, or the next one. It'd be more if I'm actually more financially stable to go around actually run a statewide campaign to go do that for traveling, or district around the 8th district. I haven't decided. And also, I'm still mulling over, hopefully, that we have better opportunities, because one thing I did say in the first episode, which I know you've heard, I mean, it's not always immoral to vote or participate in electoral politics, but it is disgusting, extremely disgusting.
I can't disagree there.
Yes. But, I may have actually mentioned this. That, I was thinking about running in 2020, actually, for whatever it might. Well, I don't know if it's Derek Grayson or not, since I think he may have promised that he's only going to run one term. But regardless, whoever is Saxby Chambliss's seat, I'm thinking about running in for that seat on the same platform that Adam Kokesh said. Adam Kokesh is that is.
I was going to wonder if you were tying it to Adam Kokesh. You're going to be in that.
What about starting out at the local level and running for city council first?
Well, true. Well, I want to do. Well, my plan is. Well, my plan. If I was to run.
I know.
Okay, I know. I know what you're. I know what you're going to say.
No, you don't. Don't. That's why I say, hear me out. If you and your friends, let's say there's 5 or 6 of you, okay, or maybe even more, all run for city council.
There's definitely more.
Well, some of you would make it, some of you might not. But let's say there's 12 of you that ran for city council, and half of you won. You would have more control over the city council than the powers that be, okay? And you start inching out and edging out and giving the elbow to these people that are into the Agenda 21, and you take back your town. That gives you a solid, that gives you a solid base platform to further to go on to bigger things. And believe it or not, getting control of the county is more important than being a representative in a district of a state. You look at the power of the county, okay?
Well, after I tell you about my platform, I'll tell. It'll make more sense why I would run for a higher office in a city council after I tell you the platform.
What I'm saying is,
how high we take it? What happens? Sorry, what happens is by the time we get into this office, our constitutional rights have already been restricted so much. I mean, it's not even going to be about running for office and trying to make change. It's going to be fight to restore our Constitution. That's what I'm saying, is that we can hope for change.
That's why I'm saying focus more quickly on the smaller local level to where you can nullify what the feds do. A sheriff can arrest an IRS agent in his county. You understand?
Yes.
If you get your county back, the county commissioner, the sheriff, and the county judge, those are the 3 main things. But what you do is you start at the smaller city council level first. You nullify what the mayor wants to do, because the mayor can get voted against, okay? He's not the end-all, be-all. The city council has a lot of authority, and then from there, after you've gotten some experience and recognition from the public in your county, they see what you've done, they say, hey, let's put this guy in charge of being a commissioner. Let's elect him. Hey, let's have him as sheriff. Hey, this guy here, man, he's for people. He's not another Washington, D.C. thug. Let's have this guy. Go ahead.
I got a question. We got a few callers in this group, so I'm gonna call all the callers out. How many people in this call right now have actually been to their city council meeting?
I go every time I go home when I get a chance.
I know you do. I done heard your philosophy, and I'm with it, brother. So I'm calling out the rest of the call. I know you do. I've heard your logic, and you're right on the money. And I agree with you. If I was going to run for office, I've been, I got some coverage because I was in the state capitol. I was working smart out at Atlanta.com and rescued some people, but I was really at the Capitol checking out a position like, am I going to run for this legislative body? And to me, it kind of looked like a waste of time. And so I backed up. I'm like, and now I'm more online with the caller. Say, hey, maybe city council, or like you said, sheriff is a better office to run for. It's local, which can be a little bit easier or a little bit harder. But you can affect a little bit more change locally and do exactly what the caller just said, because that's a really
because you're not fighting against against as big of a machine when you're going local.
Absolutely.
And, it's a lot harder to rig an election. But anyway, go ahead. Yes.
Well, that is. Well, I'm going to go to a quick 60-second commercial, and I'm going to respond to all of that after we come back, okay?
ZenTheCar.com.
ZenTheCar.com. Well, it's going to be another commercial before that, after that, and I'll respond to all of that afterwards. All right, welcome back to For Whom the Bell Tolls, and of course, Larry was just explaining to me why I should consider running locally rather than for federal office, and I'm going to respond to that. Right, it will make sense under what kind of if I first explain to what kind of platform that I would actually be running on. Of course, and as I tried to mention earlier, I'm sure all of you are aware of Adam Kokesh and his announcement earlier that, of course, he was his plan to run for president in 2020 on the platform of the peaceful dissolution of the United States federal government. That is actually the platform that I would be considered running for. If I was to run, I would run on that platform in the United States Senate. And I might change, and I think that for that reason, if I was to run for a state office, I would actually run for more of a secessionist platform. And we see what happened last time, and I kind of do not really want a civil war right now. And I think that would be a lot more. So I think it's just this dissolving it from the federal level, from the top down, would be a more peaceful solution on that end. And if I was to run from city council, then state representative, and for that one, for personally, I fear for my own soul that, of course, that politics would just grab a hold of me and would corrupt me, and of course I would be eventually be the exact same person that I am fighting against. So that is why I would not go from city council to state representative and then the Congress and then from the United States Senate. And yeah, and of course I'm thinking from this, if I was run for office, I don't really know my chances for electability. But I think if I can, at the very least, be more important than, or be treated more, what's the word, more seriously than Vermin Supreme or Lyndon LaRouche. That would be okay. I mean, obviously, I will run the intention of actually winning and doing exactly what I say I am going to be doing, but probably at the most will probably just use the platform and wake up minds. Okay, who wants to respond? Anyone there?
I'm here. Sabrina, go ahead.
Not there.
Sabrina there? Who's there?
Sabrina's not there.
Sabrina's not there. Well, it says there's like 3 people that have dropped the call.
Sorry,
it looks like
I'm
I
here.
have. Hi, Sabrina.
Hi. I was just letting y'all know.
What's the question again, Ed?
So, okay, I was just responding to why I would run for United States Senate.
Use your platform. Yeah, I heard. I think it's great that, I think every one of us at one point has had in our heads to run for some kind of office, even, locally or whatever. There's a lot of waking up going on, and I think it's awesome that everybody wants to try and wake up more people, but at what point do we get to say, enough is enough, and no matter how much waking that we do, people aren't responding in the right way. They're not voting out the right people. They're not voting in the right people, and we're still stuck in this cycle. At what point do we need to push a little harder than just running for these positions and knowing that we're not going to get it because we're the independents?
Right.
Excellent question. Can I take it?
Is that you, Chris Hill?
Yes, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Say, in order to you got to be in the game in order to change the game. And part of the problem is that the politicians got their hands in the United States Treasury, and they're giving people are living on the dole. It's like half of the country is not working. In some form or fashion, I'm in the bankruptcy profession, and I tell you, the rampant abuse of the Social Security system that I see is unreal. But you're not going to be able to beat Santa Claus, as Rush said. When you got Democrats and progressives giving handouts, selling this pipe dream of free health care, this is not going to happen. And that's kind of why I'm dissociating myself with local politics. Not to say that their cause is true, but they get caught up in things like zoning and things that that just don't fit my forte. I'm interested in immigration. I'm interested in national issues, and do I?
There's more of a fire in your belly for that.
Yeah,
everyone can understand that. I mean.
Yeah, so I would hope for a peaceful revolution. I think that if we don't get these changes, a revolution is going to be inevitable. I would much rather see that than a civil war where it would be chaos and it would be it'd be hard to organize and bounce back to that. So what I want to do is be a voice out there and find like-minded people to join me, and I'll join them. I'm not the speaker by no means, but to make our voices heard, we're tired of being.
Whoa! You listen. This is Commander General of the 3% DOG militia in Georgia saying he's not the spokesperson. But what I will tell you is the commander has some First Amendment ops that are coming up locally here in Georgia where we will stand up for our First Amendment rights to redress grievances and ask sheriffs in our state, why are you doing this silly stuff that you shouldn't be doing? Maybe we'll go to city council. Maybe we will get involved. But the thing about it is there's a voice that needs to rise, and that voice comes from a population. Now, whether it comes from CSF Georgia and Kessler's group, or Oath Keepers, or Georgia gun owners, or Georgia Carries Concealed, or Houston County Carries, there's groups all over the place. And what I want to tell these groups, listen, I want to tell all these groups, will you please stand up with other groups and make your voices heard loud and strong at your local city council, at your state representatives, at Operation American Spring coming up in May, which we will be at. Zen and the Car team is rolling to American Spring to tell folks enough is enough. We want the Constitution back. That's local. That's local at the local level city council. That's at the sheriff's department. That's at the state level in the state capitol. You're going to see them there. And that's at the federal level, the federal government, and say, we are tired of this and we don't want it anymore.
And I will support you 100%, brother.
I appreciate it, General.
Okay, where's this, by the way? You're going to the state capitol, you said?
I'm telling you what, American Spring, okay, Operation American Spring, if you don't know about it, look it up. Zen in the Car TV is all over this. Constitutional Security Force is all over this. Mark Kessler's 3% BOG is all over this. Overpasses for impeachment, which is now Overpasses for America. Somebody please put that link. I can't do it. I'm not at a computer. Put that link in the thread there, in the chat room. Operation American Spring is happening at the federal government. It's also happening in Georgia at the state level. You can find your state. Go look on Facebook. AOS, Operation American Spring, your state name. Find that thing, jump on board, get involved in Operation American Spring. It is the people rise up and say, we're tired of this.
Okay. 1.5 million so far.
What's that?